I think Mother Nature's had a little change of heart. Cyndi Lauper is also feeling that way. Thanks for waking up with us here this morning. On 13 sunrise at 6 o'clock on your Thursday. We had those fall temperatures that kind of moved in here for a couple of days. And now they're like, nah, summer's back. We're not ready with this yet.
Yeah, summer is back. We know so many kids, of course, are back to school already. Some more going back today. And if you are headed out this morning, it's a nice day, but you'll notice it's a little bit warmer too.
And yesterday it was a nice day, but we had so many accidents on the interstates.
Yes. Yeah, I think the routine is just, everyone's getting used to a new routine.
A new routine.
Going to school, trying to figure out new work plans. Okay, maybe I can work at this time because, it's a mess. Hopefully traffic stays okay this morning.
Good.
Now, do you guys believe in any weather folklore? I like to look at some of those things, like foggy mornings. And for example, first week of August, they say if it's super hot, you're going to get more snow in the winter.
Oh boy.
We've had the opposite though.
Oh, good.
We've had.
And I'm excited.
We haven't had a cooler first week of August. So does that mean less snow?
I hope so.
Sure. Julie hopes so. We'll have to see. Yeah. But there's a lot of these folklores we start looking in August because the signs are changing.
Okay, well, as long as you give me that warmer weather back today.
Yes, it comes back. Hey, at least we had our cooler start. We had a quick break, and then now the heat is on the way. We have a little bit of patchy dense fog out there this morning though, something that we also had yesterday morning. We're actually starting to enter into the foggy season. Once you get past the 4th of July, we have to be on the lookout a little bit. We're down under a quarter-mile visibility there in parts of Lawrence County. Good morning for the stars. We are down to a quarter mile, down to 6 in Muncie, 2 in Kokomo, but you can see more of that patchy dense fog, especially forming to the north and to the west. We have it in Boone County and Hamilton County. Good morning in northern Hendricks County from Pittsburgh to Liston to Brownsburg a little bit, especially kind of floating over some of the cornfields and soybean fields. This morning, we have a lot of 60s out there this morning. Last day of summer break in Tipton. This is one more day, and then we start tomorrow. 11, and we're going back to school today. Martinsville, we're headed back to school at 66. A lot of 60s on the north side from 66 in Pendleton. We've got a pair of 64s there in Carmel and in Fisher, 65 in Zionsville, and 67 reporting in Shelbyville. Farther to the south, Brown County, we're sitting at 67, and this is what it looks like in Brown County. Just one lowly light. That's because the fog is really thickened up in Brown County, and that's all we can see there by the school. But this morning, as you're headed to school, be on lookout for a little bit of patchy fog and some 60s. Nice, comfortable start, but we'll head to the upper 80s here later today, and coming up, we'll let you know how hot the weekend will get. But let's touch on traffic this morning. It is 6:02. No crashes or accidents, but we do have a slowdown on I-65 in the northbound direction right now. Once you're just headed past East Raymond Street, gets a little bit slow coming into the south split. We go down to that one lane. Again, this is what it looks like from the south split, and you're looking south. We're moving. There's not a crash, but it is a little bit slow as folks are headed north. Headlights are headed northbound. It's about a 4-minute delay. It's nothing major, but we'll see if that grows. And then this is the live look in Tiger Country. This is Lebanon. This is at Lebanon Street along I-65. We go back to school today, and coming up, we're going to let you know how hot the rest of your school week will be.
Now to an update on a story we've been following for several days here on Channel 13.
Right now, Greenwood police are asking neighbors for any surveillance video or pictures they may have after a mother and her young son were found dead inside a home near US 31 and Smith Valley Road on Monday.
Their deaths are now being ruled a homicide as police are still searching for a suspect and a motive in this case.
Karen Clay was in her 3rd trimester of pregnancy when police found her body on Monday. The body of her 3-year-old son Carter also found in that home. Investigators still not saying how either of them died.
Police believe they may have been dead for a week before they were found inside that home on Greenway Street. And this is why police hope neighbors can help them piece together what may have happened here.
I can tell you from almost a 30-year law enforcement career, it's the children that leave the lasting trauma to police officers.
So again, police are asking for any sort of surveillance video. Maybe you saw something suspicious in the last week or so. We have the contact information for Greenwood Police on our website right now, WTHR.com.
Well, right now, police are searching for the driver in connection to a deadly hit and run that happened on the city's west side. We brought this to you as breaking news yesterday on WTHR Plus. It happened on the near northwest side near 16th on Tibbs yesterday morning. A bicyclist was found in the road and taken to the hospital where that person died. Police believe the incident involved the bicyclist and at least one car. So we will share any new details on this story as it becomes available.
An Indianapolis man is now facing a preliminary charge of attempted murder for allegedly leading Westfield police on a chase and then firing shots at officers. You may remember this happened near US 31 and 196th Street. Westfield police say officers tried to stop the suspect before he took off, eventually crashing a car and then taking off again. Police eventually tracked down that person and arrested him. We're still waiting on official charges from the Hamilton County prosecutor.
Well, later tonight, a somber balloon release to celebrate what would be the 13th birthday of a young boy killed by gunfire. Israel Offit was killed alongside his brother, 24-year-old Waylon Coe, last month. Shooting happened around 4 a.m. near West 38th Street and Lafayette Road. The two were found inside a car, shot. Both later died at the hospital. Prosecutors have now officially charged a 19-year-old Anthony Bean with the murders. That balloon release is set to take place this evening at 7 in the Pendleton Pike parking lot. Well, there is an ongoing fight to bring more affordable housing to Indianapolis.
And now there may be new options on the near north side. The Indy Health District broke ground on a $32 million project. This is at 22nd and Illinois. Indy Health District says partners like IU Health and the Near North Development Corporation helped to make this possible.
IHD does tell us this area was a hot spot for crime, so now they're excited to bring a positive opportunity to this area. Indy Health District Director Jamal Smith says the location where someone lives plays a really important role in their overall health.
So there's a housing crisis all over the country. So unfortunately, Indy is no exception to that rule. And so this is, our opportunity to do our part in creating some sense of a solution for the issue.
So in all, there will be 116 rental units, all a mix of apartments and townhouses. And he also says they plan to finish construction in 2026 and soon after it's move-in day.
So applications for some of those residences and apartments there will be released closer to time when that building is done. We'll be sure to keep you updated. This morning, there are concerns over more AES rate hikes and the fact that they could be going up again.
Those new rates, if given the green light, could balloon your bill by more than $30 a month. That's according to consumer advocates.
This morning, AES, though, is pushing back, saying that number is actually closer to $20. They say it would go into effect over the course of the next 2 years.
Anna Chucker is joining us this morning to explain these rate increases and why they are happening, and also how they would look on people's bills if this gets through. Good morning.
Good morning to you two, ladies. So AES tells us that this rate increase wouldn't actually go into effect until 2026. That's when the proposal will go through. But many customers are already looking at how this could impact their bills in a few years. So AES says the reason they've pushed this proposal is the need for money for rising costs and investments. The company filed a regulatory rate review with the state commission back in June. And if this is approved, the first phase would be a $12 increase. Then phase 2 would happen the next year in 2027 with another $9, making that $21 a month overall. But the Citizens Action Coalition says that hike would actually be around $30 because of adding in the past hikes, fees, and environmental costs. And at a town hall last night, some say they were already making decisions on where their money goes, and this hike could impact that even more.
Folks are frustrated. If you're frustrated with your utility bills, frustrated with your energy, channel that frustration at the folks who have the power and the authority to do something about it.
Throughout the month, there will be public hearings held for people who want to share their thoughts on this increase. And at this town hall that our crews were at, one woman was sharing her experience with changes in her bills, including why she hasn't had electricity for the last couple of months. Now, coming up at 6:30, you'll hear the rest of her story and why she says that many people could potentially be in her situation soon if this increase is put into effect.
Yeah, a lot of frustration from a lot of people. Anna, we'll see you at 6:30. Thank you.
Well, the Indiana Fever get back to their West Coast road trip tonight after ending their 5-game win streak against the LA Sparks, unfortunately, on Tuesday.
And they are now taking on the Phoenix Mercury. They're doing it again without Caitlin Clark. As you know, she's been dealing with this groin injury. She hasn't played since before the All-Star break. The team has not released a timeline yet on when she might be back in the lineup.
Tonight's tip is a late one since they're out west, so 10 o'clock our time. It's also a game you can watch right here on WTHR.
And then you can catch 13 News at 11. Right after the game, we'll have all the highlights and post-game coverage for you.
And now, how about some football? And the Colts, they have their preseason opener tonight against the Baltimore Ravens.
NFL football, it's here. As you know, they just hosted a joint practice with the team earlier this week. And now we know Anthony Richardson will be the starting QB for tonight. He's set to play a quarter and a half, and then Daniel Jones will play after him for about half a quarter.
So kickoff is tonight at 7 in Baltimore. We'll, of course, have your coverage right here on Channel 13. Well, an important visit today. This morning, Vice President of the United States set to make a trip here in Indianapolis. At 6:45, his stop comes as the GOP is pushing states to rethink their congressional districts.
And this morning, there's an investigation underway after 5 soldiers were shot at Fort Stewart in Georgia. At 6:15, we'll get you caught up on the new details we're learning about the suspected gunman.